What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, you are meant to be here, so keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh, other times, baby girl, we're gonna cry. But we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is Babe in true connection with herself. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. Amen. Okay, today we're going to get right into it because we are talking about how to release the spirit of laziness and really align with our not just magnetic, but most motivated self as well. As someone who is a Capricorn, you just know that being motivated is one of my cornerstones. It is something that I simply love and something I've learned a lot about, whether it was graduating third in my class in high school, graduating summa cum laude in college. I've always been at the top of my class. I've always been, if I was on sports, the varsity team, the travel team. I've always been a very disciplined and motivated person. For some of my life, I was doing a little bit too much and over operating in my masculine energy, and that have actually led to burnout. So we are going to talk about today how to become our most motivated self, how to break the chains of laziness, but also do it in a way that we don't just burn out. We don't want to be a firework where we're getting really hot really quick, but then we burn out just as fast. We're not wanting 15 minutes of motivation or 15 minutes of fame. No, because we know the law of polarity. As deep as we feel pleasure, we will also feel pain. As much deep work that we do, we will also reap those rewards and have deep healing. So we want our motivation, our effort, our action to be really planned out here. We want it to be something that we're being conscientious of, and we want it to count. So how do we get motivated? How do we stay motivated? How do we get focused? How do we get disciplined? If you've been wanting to really bring this energy into your life, we're going to talk about it today. Before we get into it, a couple of announcements. If you're not yet following me on Instagram at Vibin' with Cece and at That Bitch Is Positive, be sure to follow me. Last night we did a live and I did free live oracle card readings, which was so much fun. I love doing intuitive readings. It just is so amazing to see your reactions when I hit the nail on the head. I just love it. And I love to help you transcend your current season. So be sure to follow me there. You'll also be able to suggest topics for this very podcast. Also, if you've not yet left a positive review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you've been enjoying this podcast, please do, because it really, really helps this podcast. It means the world to me. And if not for me, do it for you. That's some good karma right there. If you want help because you're going through a breakup, you can get the 21-day Breakup Glow Up Challenge. You can also join the Pedestal Path and learn how to reclaim your pedestal and reclaim your life. All of my courses, my workbooks will all be in the show notes. And of course, if you do want to work one-on-one with a certified life and energy coach, aka me, you can DM me on Instagram to find out more info how I can help you. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Now, I know as soon as I mention getting motivated, getting disciplined, you might already feel your body starting to contract and get stressed out. So let's just take a deep breath in through our nose and release it through our mouth. Let's do one more. Why not? We're here. In through the nose, filling up our tummies, and exhaling through our mouth. If you're listening to this episode right now, it's most likely because what used to bring you pleasure is now bringing you pain. Maybe you used to love the comfort of your reality, but now you feel stagnant. Maybe you used to love just daydreaming all day, but now you're frustrated because you want to start seeing results in your reality. Maybe you were used to getting C's and D's in school, but you're getting ready for college and you need to bring up those grades. When your reality starts to feel painful and this pain starts to outweigh the pleasure of your comfort of what you know, that's when we're ready to make a change. So if you're listening to this, it's most likely because you're now feeling more pain than pleasure from your reality. As positive bitches, what are we? Babes in true connection with herself, ourself. As positive bitches, we can acknowledge that we know we are made up of both feminine and masculine energy. Sometimes what happens is we are so steeped in our divine feminine, we are so engulfed in our divine feminine that we're amazing at visualizing and daydreaming and hoping and praying, but we're lacking that masculine energy. We're lacking the energy that accomplishes physical tasks. Now, the divine feminine is the master of realms beyond, intuitive, knowing, understanding. But the divine masculine, that's the energy that is the master of the 3D world. Because the divine masculine allows us to get shit done. So if you're in your reality right now and you're thinking, Cece, I am just so depleted. I have these visions, but I don't know how to get started. I can't set a goal. And even when I do set a goal, I never get it done. It's because your divine feminine is in the driver's seat and you need to bring more balance to your energies. In my dating life, I love to lead with my divine feminine. But when it comes to my business, I can't be leading with my divine feminine every single day. I have to book clients. I have to make a schedule. I have to be in meetings. I had to have outlines for my book. There are things that I had to accomplish in the 3D. As divine feminines, if you lead with your divine feminine, it doesn't mean you're never going to use your divine masculine. You should have about a 60-40 or 70-30 split where most of the time you're in your divine feminine, but you still create space to be in your divine masculine. We need it to get the actionable steps in our reality accomplished and done and dusted. Your masculine energy is not something to shove down within yourself. It's something to understand and know when to use for your own advantage. If you're listening to this, congratulations, because you're about to learn how to balance your masculine energy and get your reality in a fucking chokehold. You're about to learn how to get motivated as fuck, how to not only set a goal, but accomplish it. So open up those ears and get ready to digest this information that's going to uplift and alter your life. I'm very honored to be here with you. The first thing I want us to talk about when it comes to releasing laziness and getting motivated as fuck is releasing the spirit, the entity of laziness itself. That's right. The spirit of laziness is an alive entity. I want you to start thinking of it as something that's literally alive. The spirit of laziness will attach onto your auric field, maybe because you saw someone being lazy when you were growing up, so you internalized this energy and it became attached to your auric field. Maybe you've always been told you are lazy, and so you fed that story and you took on that identity. Either way, if you feel lazy, it's because the spirit of laziness is in your auric field, and we need to release this entity in order to free ourselves from its bondage. Everything we feel, whether it's the spirit of wandering, the spirit of being lost, the spirit of envy, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of lazy, the spirit of joy, the spirit of happiness, these are all real life entities. And I want you to imagine they're like a pet. And if there was a pet that was preying on you, it then becomes a parasite. The spirit of laziness is a parasite and it's feeding on you. So what do you want to do about this parasite? Should we let it keep feeding on us? Should we let it ruin our lives? Or should we reclaim our power, reclaim our present moment, and free ourselves from this spirit of laziness? I think you know what we're about to do. Before we can get motivated AF, we have to release what's holding us back. And right now, if you are finding that you can't get anything done, it's because the spirit of laziness has you in a chokehold. So we need to release this bondage. I want you to repeat after me. You can say this prayer every single day. You can write it down and put it up on your wall and recite it as many times as you need to. Once is enough, but do it as many times as feels good to you. Repeat after me. I declare and decree myself free from the spirit of laziness. God, deliver me from this spirit of laziness so I can walk my path, the path that's going to lead me to my highest good, the path that's going to bring me joy, the path that I so desire. I declare and decree the spirit of laziness be extinguished from my vessel. I declare and decree the spirit of laziness be removed from my vessel. I declare and decree the spirit of laziness is completely transcended and transmuted from my auric field into God's white light. I am free from what has been holding me back. I am free to live motivated. I am free to set goals and accomplish them. It feels good to be me. It feels good to be alive. It feels good to be motivated. Oh, I feel so light. Thank you, God. That's it. You have the power because you are the human who's incarnated on this planet. You have the power to remove these entities from your vessel. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we just did. You can do this daily. You can do this as many times as you see fit. But do not walk around planet Earth with these parasites feeding on you and taking away your life because you're no longer in the driver's seat when that's happening. These entities are. So I don't even think it's worth talking about, well, how did this entity get attached onto me? Who fucking cares? Just remove it. Just remove it. That's what matters. Remove it and move on. Remove it and keep moving forward. Remove it and refocus. Now that we delivered ourselves from the spirit of laziness with, of course, God's hand in it all, we are now primed and prepped to refocus on getting motivated. We are primed and prepped to put ourselves on the right path. One thing I noticed about myself is my habits totally will dictate if I'm motivated or not. When I wake up late and then I have to wash my face and now it's like 11 instead of 8 a.m., I notice just feeling like I'm running out of time with the day, I start to get demotivated. I start to get stressed out. What I started to do is change around my habits because we don't realize how much our habits are affecting us. We're plugging into these little habits every single day. They're going to have a huge effect on how we feel every single day. Think about it. Whatever you practice, you get good at. If you're engaging in habits, watching low vibrational television, listening to the news, talking to people who are gossiping, and you're doing this every single day, of course it's going to affect how you feel. If you keep giving your power away to things that don't make you feel good, you're not going to be motivated to get shit done because you're going to feel depleted. You're going to feel like an empty freaking cup. If you're spending all of your time energetically chasing your ex, you need to join the pedestal path or the 21-day breakup glow up challenge to take that power back. How can you feel motivated when all you're doing is sending all of your energy outside of your body? So if you delivered yourself from laziness and you're like, Cece, I still feel so demotivated, it's because you are giving your energy away to things that don't fucking matter and things that are draining you. I told you this. I had to stop watching Yellow Jackets, this really good show, because it was so dark and stressful that it was literally draining my energy. I also have said there's someone kind of in my life, in my rotation of humans that I know, that only wants to gossip, and I cannot speak to her. I cannot hang out with her because it brings down my energy. You have to have boundaries, not for other people. It's for you to not only survive on this planet, but thrive on this planet because you fucking owe it to yourself. Do I need to remind you that you came all the way down from God knows what dimension? You incarnated to this planet, and what? You're gonna waste your time listening to Martha, who you hate? Why the fuck would we do that? Wake up to your reality. Wake up. You have to stop spending time and your energy and your focus on shit that doesn't matter. You have to stop doing things that are draining you. So I want you to make a checklist of everything, all of your habits that you're doing on a daily basis. Are you watching YouTube for 70 hours a day, even though that is literally impossible because there's only 24 hours in a day? If you're watching YouTube for most of your day and you're not getting anything done, you're not studying, you're not doing your work, you need to cut into YouTube time. If you're constantly, you know what is the biggest energy vacuum? Your fucking phone, social media. You need to be timing how much you're on social media. You need to have boundaries, not just with other people, but with your own fucking phone, girl, because that will suck you in. TikTok will suck you in. Trust me, I'm human too. They know these social media, the creators of social media, these people, they know how to fuck with your brain to keep you on these platforms. You need to cut down on consumption and really ramp up how much you're creating. You want to feel energized? Start creating and stop consuming. Switch around how much you're consuming versus what you're creating. And when you start to write down all of your habits, I want you to look at this list and be like, okay, during the day, I'm doing yoga, I'm on my phone, I go onto YouTube, I'm cooking a meal, I do meditation. After you write down all of your habits, I want you to pay attention the next day how you feel after each habit. How much time are you spending on each habit? We can't curtail what we're doing if we're not even aware of what we're doing. And then we have to start balancing out. The habits that don't make you feel good, like doom scrolling on your phone, we want to cut down. Cut down on the consumption. The habits that are making you feel amazing, maybe starting that Etsy business, we want to amp up during our day. I swear the key to quantum leaping is hidden in your habits. Because why? Little baby steps build big steps. Your habits make your personality, which create your personal reality. Quantum leaping is really about all the little energetic movements that you're making every single day, and all those little energetic movements build big momentum that end up quantum leaping you. The secret to your reality, it's in your habits. If you don't even know how you're spending your time, you don't even know how your habits are affecting you, that is not a good equation for being motivated. What you're doing is simple. You're writing down all your habits, and then you're writing down the mood, the emotion they conjure up within you after you actually do them. Once you have this list, then we're going to look at the list. Okay, what habits are high vibe, would bring up my enjoyment of life, and what are depleting me? Then the ones that are working for us, we want to keep doing. I noticed that the yoga classes I was doing, they were just slow and I was getting bored. At first, when I started yoga, I didn't know anything. So I couldn't think about anything else. And it was such a grounding practice because everything they did was hard because I didn't know how to do anything. But now that I've gotten better at yoga and I know the moves, I was starting to get bored in the class that I was doing. And so I switched into a hot power yoga where the movements are faster and it's harder and it's a lot more ab work. And I freaking love it because it's making me remember why I loved yoga in the first place. It really grounds you in the present moment. But what I noticed is that this class is at 7 a.m. The regular class is at 10 a.m. I used to wake up and go to the class and feel fine. I've been having to get up at 6 a.m. to go to this class. And at first I was like, fuck no, this is going to be the worst thing that ever happened to me because I'm not an early riser. And I have to tell you, getting up and going straight to yoga has been such a quantum leaping experience for me. After I get up and go to yoga, I feel so good. And it's 8 a.m. the time I'm done. I feel like I have the whole entire day to get everything I need done. I don't feel rushed. I feel like I have time to meditate, time to pray, time to do the work that I want to do at my leisure. And it's been such an upgrade in my life. But I would have never known that if I didn't try it and I didn't put myself out there and I didn't consciously ask myself, how does this make me feel versus the 10 a.m. class? We have to have a conscious conversation with ourselves to see, is this working for me or is it working against me? Once you find the habits that are working for you rather than against you, a beautiful way to keep yourself on track is to habit track, meaning every single day on the calendar, you'll write a little X down, or you can write a circle, and then the next day you write another circle and you make like a chain. Once you see this chain on your calendar, which is just a bunch of circles for each day, you're not going to want to break the chain. When you track what makes you feel good, it's going to help you know what to do more of. And when you track how long you've been doing it, it helps you stay on LOL track. That's why people who are in rehab, oftentimes they'll have an app on their phone that's a tracker of how many days they've been sober. It's because that oftentimes motivates them to stay sober. So if you can start tracking your healthy habits, it's going to motivate you to keep going. I cannot recommend this enough. Now, I can't reach through the podcast platform. I can't reach through the screen and make you do this. If you want to change your life, fucking change it. I can guide you. I can be a voice of reason for you. I can inspire you. I can't do it for you. So this is the kick in the ass that you need. You can change your life, but you have to actually put in some action. Even if that action is waking up a little bit earlier and doing a meditation a day, you have to put in that action. I recently uploaded a manifesting meditation on YouTube. If you've been wanting to get meditation into your daily habit, you can get this meditation. It's for manifesting. It's fucking amazing. It's what I used to quantum leap. I used to do it on myself, and now I created an audio version of it. You can listen to that, and that can be one of your new habits. If you're going through a breakup, you can join the 21-day breakup glow up challenge. Have that as a habit. The more you do a habit, the easier it will get. The first time we do anything, it feels a little icky, sticky season, but the more you introduce your ego to this habit, the easier it's going to be to accomplish. Anything we practice, we get good at. So we want to prime ourselves to practice habits that are good for us so we get good at them. Now, let's say just thinking of starting this habit or thinking of starting that Etsy store, whatever it may be, the thought of it starts to freak you out and you can feel your body start to contract. Take a deep breath anytime that happens. And I want you to understand that there was a study done, and it stated that people who start something for just 5 minutes, 5 teeny weeny itty bitty minutes, people who start something for 5 minutes end up continuously doing that action for a lot longer. 80% of people, by the way, 80% of people who start something for 5 minutes will continuously do that action. What? So Cece, what I hear you're saying is that the hardest part of doing anything is just getting started. But if I can just get started, I'll motivate myself to keep going? What? Yes, bitch. That's exactly what I'm saying. You know why? Because motivation is not going to break through the door, rip you off the couch and be like, listen, bitch, you better get on the treadmill. You better start that essay. Motivation will not rip you out of bed to take you to yoga. However, motivation will meet you at the door. It will meet you at yoga. It will meet you at the treadmill. The hardest part of getting anything done, I swear to you, it is getting started. It's putting on your sneakers. It is writing the title for your essay. It's waking up to go to yoga. But once you get started, guess who the fuck shows up? Motivation. Motivation will meet you there. Wherever you are, motivation will meet you there. We have it so backwards. Once I get motivated, I'll do X, Y, and Z. No. Once you do X, Y, and Z, then you'll get more motivation. Once you start doing the action and start seeing results, that's when you get even more motivated. I remember when I was on a strict lifestyle, I'll say, to release weight because I wasn't happy at all. I wasn't really motivated to get started. I was just like, I fucking hate everything, so I might as well get started. I really got motivated when I started to see the pounds be released, when I started to get the results. Rarely are we so hot off motivation that we're just getting everything done. I promise you, motivation will meet you halfway, but you have to get started. I always think of that Black Eyed Peas song, can you meet me halfway? Right at the borderline is where I'm gonna wait for you. That is motivation. Imagine motivation singing that song to you, because baby girl, it is. I promise you, motivation will meet you, but you have to get started. Now, what's a little habit that you can help yourself get started? Let me tell you something I do with yoga. I literally have a uniform for yoga. I have certain leggings set aside that I only use for yoga, and I wear the same exact shirt every time to yoga. It's not the same exact shirt. It's just the same brand and the same size, so it's the same shirt. But I have many pairs of the same shirt, or not pairs, but I have many. Okay, how do I say this? I have one type of shirt, but I have many. I just have many of the same shirt. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why is this simple thing that I'm trying to say so hard to convey? You know what I mean, okay? I have this one aloe shirt, but I have many of that shirt. And it is my uniform, okay? One thing Catholic school gave me is the understanding that having a uniform makes getting ready very easy. Instead of waking up and not knowing, what am I going to wear? Oh my God, now I'm stressed out. Now I hate my body. Now I don't like anything and I'm not going to go. Instead of that bullshit, I'm like, no, fuck that. I have a uniform. I know exactly what I'm wearing to yoga every single time I go to yoga. I'm done. I'm done. You know what's packed? My yoga bag with my mat, with my... Shout out Rebecca Jasper for just purchasing a Calling Your Power Back workbook if you're listening to this. My yoga bag is packed. My yoga towel, my yoga little face towels in there. My yoga mat is ready to go. All I have to do is plop a water bottle in there. All I have to do is take a Magic Mind out of the fridge. That's another thing. If you're having trouble with your energy, get Magic Mind. I have a literal discount code. It's in the show notes. I say it every other episode. If you need a boost of energy, try Magic Mind. It will give you that little boost so you can get started, but it's not going to take you out of your authentic flow so you won't feel crazy. But anyway, be prepared. Being prepared will help you get over those roadblocks. So instead of me waking up and not liking what I'm wearing, I already know what I'm wearing. I know what it looks like. I don't need to think about it. My bag is already packed. All I have to do is get out the door. Make your life easier by creating a space in which you can move through rather than having to walk up this tall mountain that's going to take you forever and there may be unforeseen circumstances. So not only do we want to just start something for 5 minutes, look at the clock, start it for 5 minutes, try to keep going. You most likely will. If not, take a break for 2 hours or take a break for 24 hours and start again. That's part of this. Yeah, start for 5 minutes. But the other part is realizing that motivation is not going to rip you out of bed. It will meet you halfway. And the other part of this is also make shit easy for you. Know what you're going to wear for your interview. Know what you need in your bag and have it packed. Have an extra alarm clock on. Have things set in place to make your life easier. If you know getting to the gym is hard, have your outfit planned the day before. If you know writing an essay is hard, start thinking about the topic you want to write a couple of days in advance. You want to really create a space for yourself to be in a position that's going to set you up for success. If I don't pack my yoga bag the night before, if I didn't have a uniform for yoga, that's not setting myself up for success. Put yourself in a position to fucking win. You know how I do that? I make sure that I'm prepared for my next day. And that's why yoga bag is packed the night before. I know what I'm wearing. My alarm clock is on. I have Magic Mind ready in my fridge. I have a cold water bottle. I have everything that I need. Another part of this is creating a safe space for you to do the harder stuff. So if reading for you is difficult, or writing an essay for you is difficult, or you just have work to do that is more difficult and you don't enjoy it, create a space in which it is enjoyable. Romanticize everything you possibly can to make whatever you need to do as fun or as enjoyable as possible. So this means if you hate doing this essay or you hate doing this work, make some tea, light a candle, put on one of those YouTube backgrounds where it's like a fall aesthetic or a sacral chakra frequency. Make your life a little bit more livable. Go to a cute cafe. Make it so you can work in a space. Because you know what sucks? working in a really disorganized room. You know what sucks? Doing something you hate in an environment that you hate even more. So try to romanticize all the other factors. What can you control? If you can't control that you have to do this essay or you need to get this work done, control the other factors and at least do the work that you don't like in an environment that you love, that you fucking love. I also want you to pay special attention to what is coming out of your mouth. Now, I use curse words as spark words to wake up your brain, to interrupt your patterns, to make you like, what did Cece just say? So that this information really gets into your brain. And therefore, curse words work positively for me. However, a lot of us are using our words in ways that are hurting us. For example, we'll say, oh, I'm so lazy. Oh, I can't get anything done. Oh, another day where I did nothing. Claim the reality you want. You need to advocate for yourself. You need to speak to yourself like you're already the version of yourself that you wish to be. I am capable of getting done what I need to do. Let's say you don't believe that you are motivated. Okay, then you don't need to absolutely lie to yourself. If you're going to lie to yourself, I'd rather you lie positively. But let's say you're like, Cece, I don't think I'm motivated at all. Then at least say I'm capable of getting done what I need to get done. If I'm not feeling the energy now, I am absorbing the energy in the next couple of moments and I'm ready and I'm prepared and I'm going to do the best that I can. Part of this is being impeccable with your word and really claiming the life that you want and speaking life over your life, not death, speaking positivity over yourself. And another part of this is also understanding that whatever you feed is going to build in your life. So what frequency are you feeding? The lazy frequency that is literally a parasite on your vessel, or are you feeding the motivated frequency? What are you feeding? Because that's what you're going to see more of. Start telling yourself, I am capable. I can do this. I'm more powerful than I've thought I was. I am capable. I am motivated. I am diligent. I am disciplined. If you're going to be talking about yourself, you might as well talk about the version of yourself that you want to be. If you're going to be talking about yourself, you might as well talk about the version of yourself that you want to be. Claim that version, because in the quantum field, there's unlimited possibilities of versions of you. So why not talk about the version of you you wish to be rather than the version of you you're trying to get away from? Start claiming the aspects, the traits, the capabilities that you want to have in your life. And the more you claim them, the more you're going to believe them, the more you're going to see them in your reality. I love you so much. As always, the sparkle in me honors the sparkle in you. I hope this podcast resonated with you and helped you in some way. If it did, please leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It really helps this podcast and it really helps me. I truly appreciate it. If not for me, do it for you, because hello, good karma. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. What did you think of this episode? What questions do you have? What suggestions do you have for next week? And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Vibing with Cece and at That Bitch Is Positive. And I will see you, beautiful positive bitches, in the next one. Mwah.